Hi, today I'll be showing you how to create a club release in your Vinoshipper profile. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go to our clubs dropdown and we'll look at our club list. So if you've not already created your active clubs in your Vinoshipper profile, this is where you'll want to start. You'll click new club and you'll go ahead and name your club. Then you will put in a club description. You could put anything, explaining how often you'll be shipping, the volume that you'll be shipping, any information that your club members might need to know, like benefits or special offers that they might get. You can also make the club private. So if you make it private, it will not show up on your website, and then you will have to manually enter these club members into the club. You can also make it a pickup only club if you so choose. So once you have your clubs created, we will then go back to the club dropdown. We can see our club members. So once we've started entering club members into these clubs, we can see a snapshot of the club members here. What's really nice from here is you can see if they need to update their credit card. You can also click place an order from here and it'll automatically take you to the place an order function and have that customer's information in the cart. But we are going to create a club release. So we're going to go to clubs and then releases. We're going to do a new release. From there, we will choose which club, if we have more than one, we are making the release for. I'm going to use 12 Bottle Club in this case. So for the release name, I like to put something that, signifies when I'm sending the shipment. So I'm going to put fall 2025 here, just for me to kind of remember, but anything that makes sense for you. And then your release description. So it'll be 12 bottles at 20% off. Customizable is what I'm going to say here, and I'll explain that later. The release start date will be the first day that a customer can see the order pending in their profile. So that way they could go ahead, especially if you're going to customize the club, they could go ahead and see the order from there and start customizing from that date. The release date is the approximate date payments will be processed. So I'm going to choose today for both of these just so I can show you all of the steps. And then a pickup date will be if you have a pickup party or something, when they can start picking up their orders. If you do not allow them to pick up and you only are shipping, do not put a date there. So the next section will be products. The first thing you're going to want to do is add a product to your club manager's selection. So you need at least one product in this. Let's say in this example, I'm going to do the Malbec and it's my 12 bottle club. So I'm going to put 12 here. I can see my price per unit and I can see if I want to exclude from the discount, things of that nature. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to allow order customizations. So if you do not want to allow order customizations, you will not turn this on. But if you do, you will go ahead and toggle this on. You'll need a deadline for order customizations. So typically I would say a day or two at least before you're going to process the shipment, just because there's always those last minute people that you need to kind of wait for. Minimum order value, if you want to allow them to customize, but they have to hit a minimum order value, you would put that in here. Or if you have a minimum order quantity. So for example, this is a 12 bottle club, so I could put in 12 bottles there. And the next thing I need to do is add products that they can choose from to customize with. So that would be add optional product. So you could put, all your products, or you could put just a few products that you want them to be able to choose from. I'm going to make it simple and just pick 3 products here. And customer can change quantity. So this is an optional add-on product. So I do have customer change quantity defaulted as on. And the quantity here is 1, but they would be able to change that. If you have a minimum, so let's say you sell this bottle of wine, but you always want them to buy at least 2, you could put minimum as 2 there. I would probably also change the quantity here to 2, just so that it's, cohesive. But you can go ahead and play around with this and see what makes sense for your business. The next thing we'll be doing is adding our discount. So if you've created a discount in your profile for club members, it's important to note that that will not carry over to the club release. You have to add the discount per club release. So I said I'm doing a single discount and I'm doing a product discount and the percent is 20%. But let's say you had something different set up where you want to do a tiered discount. So a tiered discount, let's say by quantity, if they bought 6 bottles, we'll do that they get 15% off. So I could save that discount. And then I could add another discount here to be 12 bottles. And then that would trigger that they get 20% off. So you can definitely play around with the tiered discounts. I think it's a great way to encourage people to purchase more product. I'm going to remove these tiered discounts for now. And I will just add a quick single discount to this, because I did say it was 12 bottles at 20% off. Packaging. So if you have set up in your profile that you charge a packaging fee, you can do a standard fee here. You can flat rate or waive the fee. If you do not have a packaging fee set up, just leave it as standard. It will not apply a packaging fee. Then you can choose your shipping class that you would like them to use. So if it's, a little warm or something, you might want to only allow them to do next day air. You could set that here. You could also hold the shipments until a certain date from here. Gift note will be a note that the customer would be able to see. And then special instructions for the producer are actually more of an internal note. So I'm going to say add newsletter. That way, whoever's packaging these shipments for me knows to add my newsletter. So I'm going to quickly just turn off my customization so that I can show you the next step. So we'll hit continue here. And so now I can see I have an unpaid column because I have not yet processed these club shipments. But so I have my revenue that I can expect in my unpaid column. So the next thing we're going to do is email our members. From here, it's going to pull up the email template for the club, and you can edit a few portions of this. You can edit the subject line, the header, and the greeting. It will then show the club information, the billing info for the customer, where the customer's shipment will go to. There's also a button here to update their information, so they can update their shipping address, their credit card. But if I did have the order customizations on, this would also be the button for them to customize their order. So then you can also quickly look at the conclusion, and if you'd like to edit that, you can. So that after that, you would go to select audience. And this is nice because it can segment out the audience. So the first email you would want to send is all members with unpaid orders. But after you've processed your club, you could come back and do only members with orders that failed to process payment, only orders that haven't customized yet, things like that. So it's nice to kind of use this as an ability to reach out to them as your club is processing. So I'm going to do select audience, all members with unpaid orders, and I'm going to send that email. Then I can return to my club release. So now I can see that I've done the next step by emailing my members. So the next step from there will be to process the payments. I'm going to have to look at and just confirm the product quantities and the discount, as well as the shipping details, and then we can go ahead and go forward. And now I can see I've got one order processed. I can also see I have one in the problem. I have 2 in the problem. So we can go here and click on our problem orders and see what the issue is. So for both of these club members, I have no card on file. So I can go to his name here and I can see that this is his order. I can click on his contact card up here. I can get a credit card from him, maybe over the phone or via email. Enter that in. We're going to save that. Then from here, we can go back to his orders, see his unpaid order, actions, place the order. I can go back to my release and I see that he is now in my paid column. So after you've dealt with any problem orders, you might have some canceled, and then you might get some new members after the release. So your new members will not automatically be charged the release. They will end up in your new members column, and you can go in and process their orders individually from there. And then after you've run your release, maybe a week or two after, the next step would be closing the release. So you can hit close release. You can actually reopen the release, but we do suggest closing the release at some point, not leaving it open forever. So I'm going to close this release. Now I can see my paid and my canceled orders. So any orders that did not get processed will be in the canceled column here. I can also reopen the release from here. And yeah, that is the general how to create a club release in Vinoshipper. I hope you found this helpful. If you need any additional help, please email us at customerservice@vinoshipper.com and we're happy to help you. Thank you. Bye.